And your name is?
Ian Speed.
Your occupation?
Accountant.
And your chosen subject?
Yes, British indie music from 1979 to 89. Indie is short for independent. It's music made by independent bands on independent record labels, a term to cover all kind of alternative guitar music made by kind of left field musicians, even if they actually were making records for a major label, like for example Susie and the Banshees did throughout the 80s, were on Polydor Records. I got into music really by listening to BBC Radio 1 and watching programmes like Something Else and the Old Grey Whistle Test around the turn of the decade, between the 70s and the 80s, and then started to collect records and go and see live bands.
British indie music in 2 minutes, starting now. Who has been the frontman of The Cure since the band's formation in the 1970s?
Robert Smith.
Correct. Which guitarist with the Smiths co-wrote most of the band's songs with Morrissey?
Johnny Marr.
Yes. In which city was the band New Model Army formed in 1980?
Bradford.
Yes. Martin Glover, who's played bass with the rage-killing joke The Auburn Brilliant, uses what stage name?
Youth.
Yes.
Youth
Which Starbridge-based band was called Wild and Wandering before renaming themselves after a headline in the NME?
Pot will eat itself.
Yes. Tracy Thorn of Everything But the Girl had previously been the guitarist in which all-female band?
The Marine Girls.
Yes. What's the name of the journalist who was responsible for the marketing and promotion of Frankie Goes to Hollywood?
Paul Morley.
Yes. Which Manchester-based producer worked on albums by Joy Division, New Order, The Stone Roses and The Happy Mondays?
Martin Hannett.
Yes. Who had a hit single with 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps, please, and also recorded the track I've Got Lots of Famous People Living Under the Floorboards of My Humble Abode?
It's Splottish Abounds.
Yes. Which company bought Stiff Records when it folded in 1986?
Oh, Chrysalis.
ZTT. In 1984, Bobby Gillespie joined the Jesus and Mary Chain as a drummer before returning to which band as vocalist the following year?
Primal Scream.
Yes. Which female trio's first single was a cover of the Shirelles' hit Baby It's You, later provided backing vocals on Captain Sensible's chart topper Happy Talk?
Dolly Mixture.
Yes. Who was the only member of the New Order not to have been previously a member of Joy Division?
Gillian Gilbert.
Yes. Which label, founded in 1980 by Ivo Watts Russell and Peter Kent, released singles by Bauhaus, The and Modern English, among others?
4AD.
Yes. What's the title of the only Smiths album, not including compilations, to have reached #1 in the album charts?
Strange Ways Here We
No,
Come.
Meat is Murder. Which trio comprised Swiss-born Patrick Fitzgerald, Welsh-born Julian Swales and Spanish-born Daniel Goodwin?
Was it? No, I don't know. Pass.
The bands Depeche Mode, Yazoo and Erasure, all of which featured Vince Clarke, released singles on which independent label?
Mute.
Yes. Which band formed in the West Midlands in 1988 and named after an episode of The Goon Show, unusually had 2 bass guitarists in its lineup?
Ned's Atomic Dustbin.
Yes. The Aztec Camera single Oblivious, their first chart entry in 1983, I've started so I'll finish, was a track on which studio album?
Highland Hard Rain.
Is correct. You had just the one pass. That trio was Kitchens of Distinction. Total of 16 points.